Now I'm having so much fun with you, and I can think of nothing better to do. But we are both young, we are not done. We got time to be someone, but we lie low, cause we don't know which way to go. No, we are not old, we are not broke. We got dreams and we got hopes, but I don't know. All I know is that right now I'll be vibing with you like we got nothing to do. We party up on the roof forever young all summer. I keep falling for you, cause that's what young people do. We just don't have a clue. We could be lost, that's all I know.
Good evening, good afternoon, good day, depending on where you are in the world. Happy Thursday. We're one day closer to the weekend. And here we are back in Wisconsin. So, fun story. I hadn't planned to do 2 flights in a row in Wisconsin, but that's just kind of how it worked out. So, yeah. Here we are in middle of nowhere, was northwestern Wisconsin. We're going to be heading down towards the lake. We're going to fly over Road America. We're even going to fly just south of Oshkosh again. Just kind of how things worked out. This is a really tricky flight plan to plan. But managed to get it worked out. I think it's going to be fun. So yeah. Wayland Yutani is here. Wayland Yutani is here, excuse me. Good to see you. We have Kozaki Flyer is in. Good to see you as well. Shuffle Shoes is here. Draco Sensei is here. Good to see you. Scorpio 49. Noel K is here. Goblin Zeus is here. Viper Strike with the host. Thanks, my dude. So yeah, we are doing the low and slow with the 152 today. The livery is available through a link in the Discord, as well as the flight plans, and also an add-on airport for the final stop of the day. Good to see you, Viper. Trying to load flight plan. Going to be a few minutes. No worries, Kozaki. So yeah, we're here in quite literally the middle of nowhere, the middle of the woods, a grass strip cut out of the woods. Foxtrot is here. Good to see you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. We're doing the low and slow today. On our way to fly over Road America and land near the lake. Abnormal 34 is in the house. Good to see you. So yeah, without further ado, let's get this show on the road, or in the sky, or something. Insert appropriate acronym. Oh geez, analogy here. Make sure the radio's off so they don't fry when I turn the airplane on. I can also probably unmute flight sim. Parking brake is on, fuel's on, trim is neutral, throttle's cracked, here's full, no prop. Let's kick this pig. Yes. Okay. Master switch is on. Beacons turning on. Kick the tires and light the fires. I got the need for not exactly speed, because this is a 152. We're going to be going nowhere fast. Alright, and before the battery dies, clear prop. There we go. We have life in the engine. The old saying, there's life in this old girl yet. We're going to set our altimeter. Double check our directional gyro. Since we're basically going to be getting straight to the runway, we're going to go ahead and turn the landing lights, nav lights, and strobe lights on. Transponder is on, radio 2 on, radio 1 on, and we don't need to worry about the ADF. Alright, so parking brake released, brakes checked. I love this little airplane. It's such a good airplane. It's Not fast, but it's a reliable little plane. We'll try not to take off in the direction of parked traffic. That would just be silly. And we're gonna go rolling. Gonna follow Wayland up. Lots of flaps coming down. Gives a little help. And we're up. Now, there's a drop-off right here if you don't get off in time. Launch you right into the trees. Flaps coming up. Like we have lovely weather to contend with. See Scorpio off in the distance. Papa Crash. Nice username. I love looking at everybody's gamer tags. It's hilarious a lot of times. There's just Aileron02. Yeah, just a nice little strip in the middle of some woods and some little lakes. Do another circle. See if we can't get a good aerial shot of the strip. There it is. There it is. That's a nice little strip. Body P or Bot is here. Good to see you. Nice cozy little strip. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on course. I love this little airplane. A little to the right a bit. Getting some trim out. It's really weird flying a Cessna with a joystick. So the inputs are a little odd. Normally I'd be using my yoke, but I don't feel like taking down my steering wheel. Good evening, Kingsman. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying cool in the pool. So we have some really nice weather ahead of us, which is awesome. I haven't heard anything. I checked the marketplace earlier today, and I didn't see anything, and I haven't seen any updates on Carenado's Facebook either. So it's hard to say. Hot day at the pool. Well, hopefully you managed to stay as cool as possible. Good evening, Chilled Corky on Rental Power Up the Rear. Roger that. And we haven't even gotten there yet. That's kind of weird that there's just a big open space of no trees. I think there should be trees here. Well, we just took off from 1-4 Whiskey Sierra. We're on our way to Kilo Mike Delta Zulu. We're only just getting started. Also, if you type in route, that'll give you the flight plan. You can kind of tell that this satellite imagery was taken towards either the early or late parts of winter. Probably more towards the late part of winter, when things are starting to really green, the early parts of spring, because there's just mounds of snow here and there. Hey, Dangerous Brian, how you doing, my dude? No worries, Kozaki. Like to make things easy, so we are on the East USA server. We'll see. They didn't show up at all Tuesday. Interesting. Draco, by chance, are you running TAA? Try running DLAA. Yeah, I can't sit here and say that I've not had any, but I've had a significantly fewer. Vaguely, Draco. My memory's kind of Swiss cheese. Yeah, happy to help out, Brian. Hey, it was a good show. We were with Jay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, Kingsman, it's pretty great. The thing of it is, Draco, is I still have that, and I believe I still have that involved, and I haven't had issues. Or at least over that area lately. Interesting. Well, hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Big house. You been? I love this little airplane. I want wheel pants, though. Give me wheel pants. Good afternoon, Scott. Good to see you. Threw an egg at it from 2,500 feet. Somebody's not a Michigan fan. Knock on wood, it's been cooperating better. Why wheel pants? Because wheel pants look good. I believe it. I do it more for the looks, but the aerodynamic benefit is, you know, worth it too. Oh yeah, Draco. Oh yeah. And it looked real good with the wheel pants. Airlock Doc is in. Good to see you. I'm still figuring out Airlock Doc. So I'll have to play around with it after the stream. But yeah, I had seen your post in the Discord, and I thought, yeah, I'll have a look. If it helps people out, I'm all for it. Yeah, they look brilliant with wheel pants, Draco. It looks flatter than it is. It's not as flat on when you're on the ground. Yeah. Like, you definitely wouldn't see it on a flight school aircraft, but a lot of the privately owned, you know, just commuters, you'd see a lot of them. I'm glad it helps out, Airlock. Happy to incorporate it into the streams. Oh, gas. Stop climbing. Pity's sake, I can't get this to trim where it needs to. It's either descending or climbing. It cannot decide what it wants to do. Could just be the weather. So we're now passing Kilo Romeo Charlie X-Ray. Airport. Right down there. Kind of wing wave as we go by, because why not? Can't get this to stay steady on the altitude anyway. our bruschetta. Scorpio's out in the distance. Viper's up there. Kozaki, Chilcorky, Noelke, Botip, Druid Zeus. All in tow. Now it's finally cooperating with the altitude. For the minute. All-inclusive frontal power. I'm certainly not going fast. It's a 152. It's not known for its blistering speeds. I'm indicating about 93, 94 knots, give or take. EJ the GOAT. Okay. Rental speed is almost the same as regulars. Yeah, you're not wrong. Degrees. What is 6? Yes, live weather. Jefferson 2001 is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. No, it comes with the livery. It's all with the livery. Whalen. Which this is probably one of, if not my favorite liveries for the 152. It just looks good. I'm wondering if they're going to put the 152 on floats. Because people have done that. People have made 152s into tail draggers, float planes. They've probably put skis on it, Tundra tires, short takeoff and landing kits. It's one of those little planes that just you can do anything with. There's nothing wrong with the 172. Sometimes I just like having the real slow, the simplicity of there's no autopilot, there's no GPS. The only thing I wish this had was a DME. But beyond that, I love the simplicity of this little airplane. No autopilot, I think I already mentioned that. It's a nice, simple little airplane. Oh, so we did pass Russ County. We're getting close. Passed over a river. Could be any number of them. Like, I'm sure that with the float version, they added a higher power engine. You know, just to offset the added weight. So here's an image of a Cessna 152 with wheel pants. And this one even has the windows in the top. Here's another good one. Yeah, she looks good with wheel pants. And here's one of a 152. That's not what I wanted. That's a 152 with floats. I think it looks sharp. Hey, Scott, you may want to try posting that link again. Here is a 152 with main gear wheel pants as a tail dragger. And click on that no BS stuff. I don't know what that'll do. Put it over here. There it is. That's real nice. Here's an even more variation. Here's the straight-tailed 150 tail wheel. Oh, I can't hold it. That's Here's a 150 for Scott. Oh, no doubt, old veteran. Texas. Dad had a super decathlon for a few years. If I get a tail dragger, it'll be on one of those. So it's bar, yeah. If I'm gonna get something from Aeronica, it's gonna be a Champ. Because that's what my grandpa learned on. The question to be whether or not I could fit in it at all. What is that? Am I the only one seeing this? It's the crystalline entity from Star Trek. I don't know it. I broke the Matrix. Asobo, there's a problem. I found a bug. I found a bug. I don't know what that is. It's the okay, it goes away when I look up. That's not good. Help. What in the world? Wisconsin's got super trees. What is going on? No doubt, Scorpio, no doubt. No, I don't want to get near that. I don't want to get near that. What in the world was that? Today on Things I Never Expected to See While Flying in Flight Sim, bat. What in the world? Okay. Well, I don't know how to top that. Jeez, oh Pete. Yeah, I did. Yeah, did anybody else see that in their Sims? No kidding. What in the world? Yeah, I kind of took a couple and tried to coordinate where I was. Yeah, that was odd. No kidding. Wow. That escalated quickly. Just saying. Oh, I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, it was blue and red and black and white, and it was several colors. There's Kingsman in the Islander. Roger that, Brian. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there. Strangely flying live weather, and I have different weather. Interesting. Is it better weather or not better weather? We're gonna low pass the runway, see where the winds are. So it's probably it's probably broken for you because it's working fine for me. Then again, I had Yggdrasil, so that's not saying a whole lot. Sunny with a chance of giant tree. Well, looks like they got 2 different runways. Yeah, the Ents are coming. Trees of ridiculous size. Looking for a windsock. Slowest flyby ever. Oh, there's a windsock. So we're gonna turn around and SJ Fly 2 is here. Good to see you. It's gonna be a light crosswind. I'm still trying to process what just happened with that. Because I still don't know what that was. I've seen some glitches, but that was new. That was very, very, very new. Wowzers. Threshold up. Up throttle some more. Not too flat, so we'll go for 2. Yeah, I've been something. What happened? I had the alien tree, an alien tree crystalline entity Idrisil something kind of weird glitch. It read Idrisil as Idris Elba. It's number 1 on things I never expected to see today. I'll land nicely on runway 9er. Kingsman off to the side there. Very light crosswind, which is nice. Smooth as silk. Back towards the center line. Clean up the airplane, under 40 knots. Brake in. Here by Kingsman. Off. Mixture comes out. Log the flight, so don't lose flight time. And runway 9 is open for landings. There's Scorpio in, there's Draco. Roger that, Kingsman. Arbachetta, Druid Zeus, Viper Strike. There's Chilled Corky. Got Wayland and Bodapin. Ooh, we got Steerin with us. Ozaki in the Steerman. You have a good one, Draco. Thanks for coming along. Where is our stuff? We got N0. Yeah, I think I can do that. Alright. Yeah, have a good one, Scott. Thanks for hanging around. We'll catch you next time. Right. Master goes on. Throttle track. Mixture full. Beacon, strobe, nav. Ending because why not? And there we go. Should have been. Wayland's off. You have a good one. Radial for bearing. Six. Unit 2, 173. Was even. Alright. Start our taxi. Excuse me, pardon me. Pardon me. Look at that beautiful Navy Stearman. Gorgeous. Okay. One notch of flaps. Set trim. Oh, looks like they kind of were in their own grass taxiway. That's kind of neat. So far, we're not picking up the VOR, and we really should be. That's concerning. It's a nice little setting for a little airfield. We're going to fly a heading of 112 degrees. See if we pick up that VOR. Hopefully we end up picking up the VOR that we should be picking up. There it is. There's that VOR. So we finally picked up the VOR. We have it on nav 1 and nav 2. We have nav 2 sent to a different heading, so that we can get to the airport afterwards. So we're kind of doing a little bit of traditional VOR navigation. I need to tune into 116.75 for that one. 116. And this should triangulate ourselves to the position of the next airfield. So once we intercept the VOR that we're heading to now, which is the Wausau VOR, we'll intercept that, get on our heading south, pick it up on nav 2. We'll then adjust our nav 1 to match the next VOR, so that we can triangulate our position to the next airfield. So huzzah, we get to delve into a little bit of traditional navigation. Who needs GPS and magenta lines? Aha! Not I. Who needed trigonometry? Fancy math classes. I learned by flying. The main thing that we have to be concerned about is going to be the wind drift, which if I knew what the winds were, we could compensate, but it also kind of doesn't matter because we're hand flying it, so we're going to get blown around a bit anyway. That's right. Yeah, I guess the steering really wasn't meant for navigation. It was this is how you fly, not this is how you navigate. 40 Gumble's in the house. Only things I need in life are energy drinks and to have people understand that I'm easily confused. Dude, the state of confusion I have permanent residence in. I know the feeling. So if I seem to be kind of going here and there, I'm a little distracted over here with Sky Vector, plotting out the rest of the flight. We started at, where did we start at? 1-4 was Sierra. Yeah, there we go. Order food as we fly. What time to be alive, right? It's like at this altitude, you could almost have your cell phone and, be so much time from an airport and be like, I want food delivered to this address at this time, and then get food right when you land. That's the kind of modern problems require modern solutions. Alright, so we need to turn right to stay on our course. A little bit of a big old hill out there. But yeah, the only thing that I wish the 152 had was a DME, because I think if it had a DME, it would be IFR capable. But without the DME, it isn't. Don't quote me on that, but that's just my guess. Or at least you can quote me on it, but don't take it for gospel, as the saying goes. It does seem that the closed captioning is in fact working, which is awesome. I just need to fine-tune it with a few things. It's not on by default, but it is there for those that need it. And it seems to do a pretty good job of picking up what I'm saying. I just like I'm looking at it over here just to see it do its thing, and I'm glad that it's working. I'd almost like to see it be wider on the screen than it is, but I don't know how to adjust that right off. I'll be playing around with it for sure off the stream. But I'm just happy it's working. Oh, I have no doubt that they'll be coming along when they come. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. When somebody decides to build them. When somebody decides to build them. Just somebody wills to build them when they come. Well, that was a thing. Uh-oh. No, Flight Sim said no. There it went. The OBS window shows it inside OBS as it says when it shows the student. Gotcha. Alright. I think these are the things that only happen. Yeah, don't sweat it, Keen. I could look at it funny and Flight Sim will do something. I'm beyond the point of being mad about it. It's still frustrating, but I mean, it's not much I can do about it. But on the upside, it was just a straight up Flight Simulator.exe crash. So it wasn't our normal typical friend of the VC runtime. Lots of paperwork. Good old US Customs. So, since the big news of the week is that Murph will not be streaming tomorrow, I've decided to do a bonus stream tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some Assetto Corsa Competizione. And then on Saturday will be our normal stream in iRacing. Let's see what you do tonight. We'll back in. Roger that, Noel. Yes. I do use the add-on linker airlock. In fact, I haven't updated it in a while. You should pass launch and then. Yeah, I've tried to use that. I've never spent the time to get it to work, so I just I don't bother with it. I'm not that overly fussed about them. I change my atoms all the time based on what I'm flying, so only what I need to keep the overhead down. I know. I'm one of those people where I keep a lot of everything installed just for the simple fact of I don't always know what I'm going to be doing, what I want to fly, so I don't bother with. To me, that's a hassle, and I don't want to bother with the hassle. And I don't know what other, on a group flight, I never know what everybody else is going to fly, so I just especially keep all my aircraft installed, especially. But as far as scenery, it's just like I never know. I say never, but I rarely have a set. I'm gonna fly here and then coordinate scenery and add-ons because I just don't care. It doesn't fuss me, and it's more of a hassle to worry about all that than to just load up the sim, even if it takes a while. But that's just me. Was W Arrival as 9 Bucky's Air Park. And log, make sure it doesn't launch just at a stupid altitude. Good to see you back, Kingsman. String 0, where are we going in? Destination airport is Bucky's Air Park, which is Whiskey November 09er, but we're going via the Wausau VOR, which is a frequency of 111.6. From there, we'll fly over Oshkosh, fly over Road America, and then land in Sheboygan. Six. And want that. We want 19. Same thing with this VOR. We want to tune it to 173. Could potentially go between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, or between 6 and 7 Eastern time. I don't have a specific idea, but it'll be a while. That's good, and I want to get this 116.75. To get back on course a little bit. Okay, so we should be back in business. So, huge shout out to the Flying Fabio and his insane depth of knowledge that he's willing to share with everybody and for nothing on my ability to figure out VORs and how to navigate with them and all that fun stuff. Without his teachings, I'd be at a loss for what all of this does. getting close to the VOR because that line wants to move a lot. So we're definitely getting close to it. See, it's not that flat. I have that condition as well. It is Whiskey November 09. Via the Wausau VOR, which is Alpha Uniform Whiskey. Think we're good? So that's the VOR just off the nose. So right there. Flight Sim seems to think that there's an airstrip here, and I don't think there really is. For the zone of confusion. There's zone of confusion. We turn. Now we switch over to this, and we want to adjust that to 107. There's Kingsman. Internet's going nuts today. So now we're primarily focusing on nav 2. Six. Gonna want to tune into that as well. It's Captain Jack Lyle. We'll end up setting that at 113 degrees after right a little bit. So we're still not picking up the Oshkosh navigation VOR, but when we do, that's tuned so that when the closer we get to our destination, the more to the center line that the vertical stick will get, and that's going to help us triangulate our position as to, because we're not running GPS, so we have, in theory, no magenta line. We're not relying on it. There's Kingsman. Well, he was there, and there he is. I'm entirely sure what happened to everyone else. I got Kingsman, I've got Noel. Captain Jack Lyle's there. It's rather odd. Anything odd has happened on the Discord. Nothing interesting. Interesting. Off course again. That's okay. What do you expect? Loki came out of the... That's a good question, Corky. Winds seem to be out of the east as of current. Whiskey November 09er. Well, I'm gonna say runway 36, just for the fact that the winds were still kind of out of, they're kind of out of the northwest. Or no, excuse me. Out of the northeast. Yeah. Well, let's see. We've got nearby AWAS at Watoma, and that's 119,475. And I don't trust the InSim ATIS outside of wind, and even that's kind of
Yankee 50 automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 013 at 12. Visibility 10.
013.
Sky condition: few clouds at 1,200 feet. Few clouds at 4,300.
Yeah, 36 is sounding the right one.
Feet. Temperature 24C dew point 10C altimeter 3009er. Yankee 50 automated weather observation 1200 Zulu. Wind 013 at 12.
Yeah, 013. 36 is going to be our best runway. Based on that.
Temperature 24C dew point 10C altimeter 3009er.
So yeah, Joe Quirky 36. Yeah, that Islander's a nice plane. I'm not using the 750. I'm using charts because I like old school navigation, maps over GPS. Technically the air part, I've seen it from the air, it does have a north-south and an east-west runway. I think overall the best the best runway for what I want to do is runway 36. Well, I'll say this, it's right off the interstate. It's right near some towers. It's northwest of the Watoma Municipal Airport. Rogera 24, good to see you. How do I but on the setting to start the plane by myself? Are you asking how do you start the plane by yourself? Depends on the plane, depends on the systems. Your best bet is to go up here, especially if it's a default aircraft. No, the plane starts itself. Are you starting on the runway or are you starting on the ramp? So if you want to start the plane, chances are if it'll only allow you to, Italian FX has got it. It basically just can't start it. I advise starting on, not starting on the runway in general. But that's me. So Kazaki, right here, this is I-35, I believe. If we just follow I-35, it'll get us right to where we're going. It's like a dual tower that stand about 1427 feet. Fabio rules to start the fuel, spark, and air. Yep. Now, beyond the starting on the ramp, the startup procedure is going to depend on the different airplane. You know, like this is incredibly simple to get started. You put the mixture in full. You make sure that the fuel gate or fuel valve is open. Make sure that the batteries are on. Turn the key to start, and it should go from there. Now, don't ask me how to start an Airbus. I don't know, and at this point in time, I have no desire to learn how to start an Airbus. So I couldn't help you there. I'm more accustomed to single-engine piston aircraft. I can get away with twin-engine piston aircraft or multi-engine piston aircraft because they work on very similar rules. Jets are tricky. Even turboprops can be different. Now, when you get into things like the DA-40 or the DA-62, they've got slightly different startup procedures because they're actually relatively easy with the way their engines are designed. That was Kingsman flying underneath us. It was. Hello, hello. Yep. And the Stearman starts up a lot like this. It's just it needs the three basics. It needs a spark, it needs fuel, and it needs air. That's the basics to an internal combustion engine. That's why I really enjoy simpler planes, because it's just you start up and go, essentially. we've picked up the Oshkosh VOR. That's good. That's going to give us the indication of how close we are, because we set this on a heading that would get us to Oshkosh from that airport. So we look on the chart, we figure out, okay, the bearing from the VOR to the airport we're going is such and such, which I think is set to 119-ish. 107, 107 degrees from the Oshkosh VOR, but it's also 119, 179, 70 something, 173 degrees from the Wausau VOR. What that does is now we can triangulate our position. So when this line is straight and this line is straight, we should be right by the airport. Yeah. I don't think I could even get it going with Control E, if I'm honest. Yeah, the default one should have the checklist. Add-on planes, nah, it's hit and miss. So I do believe that Kingsman may have found the airfield, and it looks to be by a ramp. So we're getting off to the course is off to the left, so we're getting a little off course to the right, and we're just a little north of Oshkosh VOR line that we set. There's Sean Legaman, retired 210. Nice. So we should be right about, we should be near it. Maybe not exactly over it, because those lines are getting closer and closer together. Now we can look out the window and say, oh, the name tags are right there, so that's probably where it is. But the fact of the matter is we can get in the ballpark by using the VOR nav, which to me is just awesome. Which continues to strike me of why are we getting why would they get rid of the VOR system? I mean, it's still reliable, it works, it does everything it needs to do, and if something happens and GPS just goes away, because those are owned by companies, they decide to flip the switch one day and we're in the dark, where are we? We got nothing. But radio still works. Always, always, always have a reliable backup. It's kind of like the old saying, don't put your chickens on one basket. That does kind of look like it. So, again, they're also probably a little off because it's not giving me the exact, number that I need to say, hey, we're at this, whatever. So, minor limitation, but one we can live with. So we're going to go ahead and start reducing power. Those are the fun ones. So there's the east-west, here's the north-south. We're going to fly around and we're going to land on the 36 going this way. Two Cats is here. Good to see you. The skies are doing well. We're just getting to our second stop of the day, and we did it with VORs. Hey, JW. This is DCS. Yes. VORs are going fantastically, Two Cats. I almost trust them better than the magenta line. Speaking of errors, we want to double check our directional gyro and our altimeter before we land. Toss in another notch of flaps. Going to tighten up our turn radius a little bit. Practicing. I got a lot of information from watching Fabio, the amazing flying Fabio, and I'm putting them to practice. Because what is a skill unless you practice, practice, practice? We have the runway in sight. Oh yeah, he's the best person to learn from with the why are there power lines here? That's not good. I'm gonna ignore that tree. I seem to be getting better and better, which I think that's a good thing. Alright, so parking brake set, mixture, off, mags, battery. There's the flight logged. Sean Legaman in. Or coming in. There's Kingsman in. Yeah, maybe Sean Legaman isn't coming in for this one. That seems to be about it. Only a handful of us here. That's alright. Got us a two-tone Murphy of our bruschetta. I'm doing weird things to... So I think we're going to take off using this runway. Ah, gotcha. Alright, so we're just gonna get the plane started and we'll get her set up for our next leg off to our last leg, actually. Gonna fly over Oshkosh. I'm in an Oshkosh mood. What can I say? I really didn't mean to plan it the way I did, but you know what? It is what it is. So master switch is on. Those lights are on. Fuel. Two Cats, that is the BN2 Islander, piloted by Kingsman. You have a good one, Shuffle Shoes. Glad to have you along. Oh, the interior is kind of basic looking. Overall, I was happy with the aircraft purchase. You get 3 different models of it. It flies very nicely. Murph, I know that Murph has flown it a couple of times on stream, and he was happy with it. Speaking of two-tone, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend, and the man that will be absent tomorrow from streaming. So I'm filling his spot with some Assetto Corsa. But yeah, I like the BN2 Islander. It's good. Okay, so we want 116.75. Want that. Want to tune that to 107. 2, 3, 4, 7. Play. You're good, Murph. I'm gonna set this to 113. Three. Oh yeah. So yeah, Two Cats tearing up some track in Assetto Corsa Competizione tomorrow, and then our normal iRacing stream on Saturday. Squawking the way we want to squawk. What's the ATIS at Oshkosh is 125.9. Want that ready. That's good to go. Nav radio is good to go. Altimeter set. Directional gyro is set. Excuse me. All right. There's Sean Legoman. And there's a DA62. So we're gonna... Thank you. Now the parking brake's released. We're going to places that Murph would never dream of. No magenta line. There's Sean coming in a CJ4. Nicely done. That's right, I'm going to be taking the Ferrari 488 GT3 around Monza tomorrow in Assetto Corsa Competizione, or ACC for short. Alright, positive rate, gear up. Oh dear. That didn't go well for Sean at all. There, flaps going up. I've only tested the 488 in ACC. They have it in iRacing, but I haven't tried it out. We're hanging in there. I have no complaints. The weather in Flight Sim has been good. It's cooperated for the most part. I'm flying a plane that I like with people I like in an area I like. How could it be bad? There's the power lines. They go right over the runway. That's just seems like a major hazard. There's no LK. Sean Legeman there at the end. So we'll give her one more orbit and we'll be on our way. We are right over Whiskey November 09er, Brian. We just took off and we've just been doing a couple of orbits. Whiskey November 09. So make sure that we may need to gain some altitude to pick up the VOR. Well, VOR. But if we head on a heading of 107 degrees, roughly, from the airport, there's Skydive Man. We should be able to pick up $107, so right about there, and we should pick it up here shortly. We picked it up. We may just need a little bit more altitude, because the curvature of the Earth and science and things. There's Kozaki and Scorpio and Norwell and Mata, Kingsman. You can almost make out Lake Winnebago ahead of us. Hey, we picked up the VOR. Woo! So, we're a little to the right of the track, so we'll adjust our course. I love knowing VOR navigation now. Actually, to me, it's a lot more fun than using the magenta line or the GPS or even the autopilot. Done and done, JW. There's Kingsman doing some very nice flying. There's Bot up in something. I think Bot up's been flying the Trinidad quite a bit lately. It's a plane I haven't yet picked up. Gravel Cup, aha! There's Masonic Lake. There's that Islander. So yeah, we as a community need to start getting coordinated, because I'd really love to do a community fly-in to Oshkosh. Not really as a, you know, obviously it's part of a stream, but like, get the Flying Fabio community involved, the Fireflies, any other big communities, and just have a mass fly-in and have air show and all that stuff at, you know, Oshkosh before Oshkosh happens. The reason being is I'm really toying with the idea of trying to go to Oshkosh this year for a couple of days, take some videos, maybe make some vlogs, and then, you know, show off to all our European friends of this isn't just any air show. AirVenture in Oshkosh is an event, an aviation event like no other. It has no equal. You can take the biggest air show in Europe, multiply it about a dozen times, and then you have Oshkosh. And it's just such an amazing experience. There's so much to do. Power back a little bit. I see an HCBR 1100. Skydive Man, Masonic Lake. Arbachetta, Sean Legaman. It looks well made, and it looks like it's matured well. Ooh, there's a Mark 362. It really seems to have matured well and gotten better at since its release. So it's gotten onto my radar of aircraft that I wouldn't mind picking up. There's Putski 18. first up is I really want that Cessna 170 from Coronado because it's a classic Cessna. I have to have it. But Oshkosh is such an amazing event. I want to be able to share that in the sim. I really, 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 really hope that Asobo has some sort of special scenery for Oshkosh during the event, or something that we could have loaded in it whenever we want, because it's such an amazing event, and it just changes the visual landscape of the airport during the event. It's incredible. It's probably just an upgrade of an FSX version. I followed the developers' progress on Facebook, and it's put a lot of work into it, making it good, really good for, MSFS. Even if maybe the textures could use some work, but it's definitely gotten better from its initial release. That much I can say. Because I think that this is Lionheart Creations. They made it for like X-Plane or for FSX or P3D, and they moved it over to MSFS. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen your, I may not react to every one of your photos, Goblin, but I do see them, and you take some really nice photos in Flight Sim from the flights. And we are right on course. So this is Lake Boygan, Boygan. And this right here, I can't read because it's covered up with other text. Thanks, chart. And right on the horizon is Lake Winnebago, which means Oshkosh is right here. It really is, Goblin, and the drone camera is like the best flight sim screenshot taking tool ever, and it's awesome. Look at those maneuvers by Kingsman. Doing a good job out there, dude. See, and one thing I like about this livery, it makes the cockpit look used, well loved, not like just out of the factory. I love that. It gives it character. Fireworks. God love fireworks. You live in the hood. Is it fireworks or is it gunfire? I don't know. It's annoying, but until something, penetrates the window, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I admit I always scroll the photograph. Yeah. I end up taking more screenshots after, when I'm flying on my own or flying on a Murph stream than I do during mine. Although I really need to take more during my streams because screenshots or YouTube thumbnails. The president got 20 gig of photos. I put them on it. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, man. Yeah, 50-50 chance of it being fireworks or gunfire. Hey, we got some thunderflies. just in time to go over Oshkosh. And the Thunderflies are going to love Oshkosh because they've got plenty of room to put on an amazing routine right over the airfield. A little bit to the right. Now we're to the right. We would need to go to the left for the next leg, because this is set up to get us from Oshkosh to Road America on a direct heading. From Road America to the airport, it's only 6 miles, so we'll see the airport. We don't necessarily need the VORs to navigate to the airport, but it'll definitely get us to the racetrack. There's Dennis G. So one thing I've been doing on my own is I've started looking over the approach plates for VFR arrivals into Oshkosh, just to see how is it done, how am I going to do it, because I'd like to be able to do that if we can manage to coordinate and have a community fly into Oshkosh, maybe with an air show and whatnot. Even if it's not like an organized air show per se, but just an aerial demonstration would be cool. I've flown into Oshkosh plenty of times in small planes, but maybe we could break out the Warbirds for that kind of a flight. Got some Warbirds, some 339s, get the DC-6 out. We're talking, going to Oshkosh, you see everything from, the golden, or, everything from the early days of aviation to the latest and greatest fighter jets. And that's one of the things that makes the Oshkosh event so awesome is it's just anything to do with aviation, it's there. Building aircraft, maintaining aircraft, flying aircraft, if it's related to aviation, there's something there for it. You have a good one, Airlock Doc. Do appreciate you being there, and glad you. Thank you for saying something about the closed captioning. I'm glad I could integrate it into the thing for you. So you have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. There is hot dogs and there is beer. There's even bratwurst. There's all kinds of stuff. But, just, I believe Asobo is going to be there. Or at least Microsoft Asobo. So they're going to be at Oshkosh this year and probably from here on out. Let's see, I have the Taste of Oshkosh. I went with friends. And it's a Sun and Fun. Yeah. So you take Sun and Fun and you can multiply that by several times and you'll get Oshkosh. Oshkosh is huge. It's just insane how big it is. It's hard to really describe until you're there. It's mind-boggling. And not only that, not only are people flying in, parking their airplanes in grass all over the airfield, they're camping there. They're camping by their airplanes. How cool is that you can camp at your airplane on an airport at an air show that lasts a week? Dude, it's so worth going. If you're into aviation on any level, it's worth going. 100% true, Kozaki. 100%. We'll definitely look for you to get there, Kingsman. We'll do what we can. But it is a bucket list item. You know, those of us here in the U.S. have a much easier time getting to it. But you know, if you know over in Europe, put it on your bucket list. If you love aviation, it's worth putting on your bucket list and going to at least once. And just make sure that you plan to do a couple of days. The last time I went, which was in 2012, I literally woke up really early in the morning, drove 6 hours there, spent the better part of 8 hours walking around, tried to catch a nap, couldn't sleep because I was too jazzed, and it was hot. Started the 6 hour drive home, and I ended up I got about 4 hours into it, had to stop at a rest stop, catch about an hour's nap, and then finally made it home. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. It's a bad idea. You don't really get to enjoy it. Yeah. What airport is close to the place? It's KOSH. That's the actual airfield, and it's an active field. We were in a traffic jam of aircraft. Yep. You get the same thing with Oshkosh. And there's no VFR departures between 8 p.m. and 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. local time. There you go. I've got a couple of pup tents, and I have access to a GP medium and a GP small. I don't know how to set them up, but I have access to them. GP medium needs a little help. We need ropes. Okay, so we can go a little to the right. So we're definitely getting close to the airfield. Start seeing the photogrammetry. The airfield's right here. Right where this Quint guy is. That almost looks like 927 right there. There's Steve Solo. He's still with us. Two men with the ropes and poles. That's about what my pup tent is. We'll get it sorted out. It'd be too... The GP medium would be too big for a campsite anyway. The GP small itself is pushing it for something like Oshkosh. Let's see, what lake is that? I don't know. Rush Lake. So that, I believe, is Rush Lake. I think that's Lake Butte. Lake Butte Des Moines. Oh. Goblin just passed Orion. Nice. See Arborchetta out in the distance. Scorpio 49's there. So this must have been a cloud-covered area to get the FSX treatment. Chill Corky's in stealth mode. You might be. Oh, there you are. We got you. We got you, Corky. We're low and to the left. I think it's just Lake Butte. And one of the nice things about this is not only is there Oshkosh on the airport of Oshkosh, of Whitman Regional, there's a seaplane base that will fly past that has all the seaplanes that are on the water. Kermit Weeks flew a Martin Mars into there one year. 310 Pilot has a great view of fires, of course. I'll have to look that up, Kozaki. Because that's something I'd want to do. I have the most recent NOTAM for it. So I know Pilot Edge is doing a thing, but I just want to fly with the community, you know. I don't necessarily need to have ATC going into Oshkosh in a flight sim. There they are. Look at them go. Starting to get into the not color matched photogrammetry. So, but you really need to work on that, on the color matching. Because you can always tell, oh, this isn't. So there's Whitman Regional right there. Now, I'm going to zoom in as best as I can here. Imagine there's aircraft parked all along here, all in here, and all the way. All the way down here and down into here. Campers and cars all over here. Seaplane bases over here. You know, there's the EAA museum right here, and they have their own little runway. There's a little runway for ultralights. And you know, all these airplanes, well, a lot of these, the airplanes parked in this area down here and this and all down here, there are people camping in their airplane or at their airplane. To the DA-40 was the AP. Uh-oh. Well, glad you got it sorted out, Scorpio. Yeah, and it has to be organized, or it's just, you know, beyond chaos. But it's just like, there's shops and vendors and all sorts of grand stuff in here. This area in here is where all the warbirds are. The Mustangs have their own section. You know, this taxiway here gets used as a runway temporarily. And, you know, this is the main runway. There's planes parked all down here. It's ridiculous. This is the ultralight area. There's a theater in the woods right there. You know, the main exhibition hangars we're about to go over. But, you know, parking, airplanes filling every grass spot on this side of the taxiway. Just all the way down. And then all up in here and over in here and all up down here. It's just crazy. You know, and you can see the landing dots because they're landing multiple planes on the same runway at the same time at different spots. It's ridiculous. It's the kind of flying that's right down the Thunderfly's alley. Because you have all this room to do, you know, your aerobatics, you know, from this runway off to the side, to do all the stuff. Now, Basler is down here, and they do the turboprop conversions for DC-3s. The Oshkosh manufacturing facilities are right here, and you'll see their vehicles built right in that factory down there. And here we are over Lake Winnebago. Hey, HBert10, how you doing? We're making our way towards Road America as we're flying over Oshkosh, Wisconsin. It's only 27 nautical miles from Oshkosh to Road America, I should say. So the seaplane base for Oshkosh is right in here. So it's a short drive to get from the main event to the seaplane base, but even the seaplane base is worth checking out. It's just awesome. The whole experience is awesome. Have I said that it's awesome? I'm not sure I've said it enough. Hope you're well, H-Bert. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Oops. We are one day closer to the weekend. We have with us the Thunderflies. There's a War Hamster. We have a Dennis G. We have a War Hamster. We have Skydive Man, the Sonic Lake HCBR 110. 110? 1100. Kingsman 9965. Kozeki Flyer. Vada. Scorpio. No LK. There's Hammy there. Mark 362. Sean Lego Man. Steve Solo UK is there. You think which single engine aircraft is the best? It depends on what you want to do. For just puddle jumping for low and slow, just taking in the sights, the 152 is awesome. 172, same level, just a little faster. We do have Arbor and Viper up ahead. Scorpio is there at one point as well. Goblin's there. Kick this up a notch. Got a little extra watered down because I had to add ice cubes. The weather's been so warm that even the tap water doesn't get cold. Yeah, but I mean, can't really say what's the best. It's what's going to suit your needs. How are you going to fly? What do you want to fly? How do you want to fly? Goblin took the STOL short takeoff and landing 152. Nice. So we're almost over, completely over to Lake Winnebago. Or we're almost across, I should say. There's Chilled Corky. Scorpio's there. There's Bodic. Uh-oh. Don't stall. Okay, so we're on course. We need to turn 113 while we're on the line with VOR. Yeah, but yeah, you might want to get some fuel. Although we have less than an hour of flying, so you should be okay. Maybe not. Gallons an hour. Kind of close for sure. So we wave farewell to Oshkosh yet again this week, as well as Lake Winnebago. There's a nice little port, marina. Some windmills, picking up all the wind from that comes over the lake. That's a lot of fans, holy cow. What is this, Ron Alternate's wind farm? My goodness. Nice, I would have liked to read that myself after the stream. Kingsman, and there's the Thunderflies. There's Chilled Corky, Sean Whiteman, Arborchetta. So we're starting to converge on what was the old flight plan, which some people probably ended up following, and the new flight plan, because I had to redo practically the whole thing, just because some things weren't working out with the way I had originally planned it. And there's Bottom over there. So, but it looks like Bottom's sitting down in Fond du Lac, pick up some more fuel. There's Kozaki behind us. Okay, it's up there. Should be getting over Speedway here soon. And we're on the radial, so that's good. Might actually be right here where Chilled Corky's at. Got a little ways to go yet. We're still, we just went through the wind farm. Went up to a river. We might actually be a little south. Okay. So it's near a lake. Flies. Okay, so there's a lake. There's two lakes. There's a... Oh, they're both kind of weird looking, shape-wise. I want to find them. Okay, so that lake speedway should be about here. Look at them go. Okay, so that should be the first weird looking lake that we'll pass over. There'll be another smaller lake just beyond it, and it'll... The racetrack's right by some railroad tracks. There's a two-tone Murphy 172 going in. I believe it's Arborchetta. Yeah, farmers really do get fancy with how they stylize their crops. Whether they know it or not, most of them probably know it. And how you couldn't ask for better weather for doing this. It's a little bumpy, but not bad. It's actually getting a little more bumpy over the trees. Which, look at this. Look at this area. Isn't that nice? Here they come to save the day. There's another lake down there. Nice. Awa. Nice. So apparently there's also... No, never mind. The speedway is, or the racetrack, it's a road course. It's one of my favorite road courses ever of all time. It's going to be right by some north-south rail tracks and a major road. Runway 04, probably. Winds are 05, yes. 04 will be our runway of choice. Let's see. About where is the racetrack? That kind of looks like part of it. It's a great racetrack too. It has some very technical corners, but it has a lot of fast corners. Uphill, downhill, slow corners, fast corners. It's just a great track. Of all the road courses that I've raced on in sim racing, I think Road America and Monza are my favorites. Yep, this is a racetrack. This is a racetrack, so that's the front stretch. And it comes down here a ways, has a nice tight turn. Another long straight. Comes down here with a downhill tight left-hander. Comes uphill. Yeah. Sorry, Thunderflies, I'm aiming down. So you come down here, you go this way. This is a tricky one. This is all downhill. Left turn. The big carousel coming around. Oh, goodness. You got Canada corner in there somewhere. There's the kink. Canada corner's right there. And then it comes back up here through the S's. And then you get the final turn, goes uphill on the front stretch, past the pit road, past the garage area, and there's turn 1. So we're gonna do a quick circle around it because I can't let it just not do. I have to watch the track. Watch the track? Okay, so there's turn 1. There's turn 1. It's a right-hander, then goes downhill. Then you get to turn 1 or turn 2, which is slower than it looks. Then you get a long back straight that's not straight. You go through here. You go through the Sargento cheese or Sacramento cheese or some sort of cheese bridge. This is a real fast section. And then it starts going downhill right about where the trees are. Got to brake, left-hand turn. Go uphill. Hit the brakes right about where the bridge is. Make a left. And then it's to a right-hander. Then you're going back downhill, coming into this turn. As we're going in for a dive. Whee! And that's a fast section. I'm pointing at the screen. It's a fast section through here. You got to brake to get through here. A little bit of runoff. You go over the Johnsonville-Brott Bridge. Go through the carousel, which is real. It's flatter than it looks. Then most series come through here towards the kink, which you can take almost flat out. I'm really giving the Thunderflies something to shoot at. Then you go through the woods. I'm making their lives hard. I'm sorry, Thunderflies. And then this is a fairly fast section. You hit the kink over here, go through here, hard braking down into Canada corner. Into the right-hander, up through the S's, which is all uphill. This is almost a blind turn, going uphill. Gets to the last straight over the tunnel, and then a very flat right-hander, and onto the front straight. One of my favorite road courses of all time. I've had some very good battles in stock cars at this track. It's just a good track. I enjoy it thoroughly. If you ever get a chance to race it in any kind of racing game, do it. I don't care if it's Assetto Corsa, iRacing, Forza. It's a wonderful track. And now that I've thoroughly lost and confused everybody and made the Thunderflies mad for not holding still, we shall continue on to the airport. And land on runway 04. It's one of the tracks that I could just gush about because it's so good. It is Kingston. It's great. I could talk about it all day. It has a nice combination of fast parts, slow parts, technical parts, but still can produce some amazing racing to watch, let alone to actually participate in. It's just such a good overall track. There's a cup. All right, we're going to get ourselves ready for final on runway 4. 4! Is it an airport or a golf course? Start pulling the power back a little bit. It's called Road America. And it's very fitting that they're going to be racing the NASCAR Cup Series. Oh, you can see Lake Michigan from here. The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing at Road America on Independence Day weekend. Because here in the United States this weekend on the Sunday is the 4th of July, in which we celebrate Independence Day. We broke away from the British Day, which they probably call Treason Day over in the UK. I've always wondered how the British teach the 1770s. I'm rather curious to learn how that's taught, if it's taught at all, or if it's called the American Rebellion or something, whereas we call it the American Revolution. There's Kozaki. Who is that? That's an F-15. Am I arguing if how's that arguable? Yeah, France. I can imagine France celebrates it as much as we do because the French were very pivotal in helping us win the Revolutionary War. They provided us great aid. Not only that, but I believe they also helped in the War of 1812 and the American Civil War. Ooh, man. Ooh, that's a stiff wind. Ooh, we almost stopped midair. Aha! Ooh, yeah. To the funny farm. That being said, we're going to actually have to add power. We're only going 55 knots. We're going nowhere fast. Come on. I may not use full flaps. We are going real slow. Ooh, ooh. This got fun. This got fun in a real hurry. There's the Thunderflies. Woo! Nice break, guys. And you try to keep her on the center line. right at the end. We'll bust out the last notch. Those idles, keep it on the center line. 17 knot. Woo, that is a stiff headwind, isn't it? Alright, we're on the ground. Flaps are coming up. And I don't believe that windsock for a minute. Alright, we'll parking brake on. Model there. Off. Beacon strobe. Mixture out. Mags. Fuel off. And she's still spinning. There's the battery off. And there's Kingsman. Nicely done, my friend. We'll go ahead and hide me. Oh no, Goblin ran out of fuel. Oopsie. There's Scorpio in the DA62. Someone had a gas can for you? That's awesome. There's Bodip and Kozaki in. John Legaman's in. There's the Thunderflies. A little wider than the runway. The question is, do we have a Thunderbus? There's Chilled Corky in. Zoom out. There's RC Max. I don't think he's... We got a War Hamster off in the distance. I think that is all of our normal Fireflies. So this is a freeware airport that I did link in Discord. Looks pretty nice. Some nice buildings. That's a nice building. Ghost plane. Nice hangar. Yeah. Fuel farm. Parking spots galore. I think this is backwards, quite honestly, because that's not where the wind was coming from. You have a good one, Kingsman. Glad to see you around. You take care, and we will see you next time. All right. Well, that was just awesome, 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 everyone. You have a good night, Chill Corky. Thank you all for coming along with the flight tonight. Even had a CTD, but everything went great, regardless. And so it's all thanks to you guys and for coming along, putting up with me and my silly VOR learning stuffs and whatnot. But really always a pleasure to have you all with me. Whether you're just lurking in the chat, chatting in the chat, flying along, it all means the world to me. To all the subs and follows, just very humbling. So thank you for all of that. But until next time, we'll catch you on the Discord. You know, stay tuned. I really wanna push for a group fly into Oshkosh because it's a great airport. It's a great event to get hyped for, and especially for those of you in Europe that can't make it over. It's going to be a special occasion regardless, because flying into community is always awesome. But until next time, be good to each other, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.